Hello, I'm Juliette, the medical office manager of medical office of Dr. Finger Hand and Foot. And here in this presentation, I want to talk about five main management functions, which are planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. I will also talk about the management styles that most of managers uses in order to work effectively in their work. Let me firstly start with the planning function. The planning function is where the manager set goals and objectives of the company and actions that are needed in order to reach on those goals. And the manager is responsible to set prior activities that need to be accomplished in order for the company to reach on their main goal. An example of where the planning management function can be used is where in a healthcare center, the manager set goals of like number of patients that they will take care of and ways in which they will use in order to reach on that number. Another function is organizing. Organizing refers to how all those tasks can be accomplished. In which way? Manager organizes those tasks, assign them to different workers, and based on their expertise, based on what they learn, and put them in teams according to what they are supposed to accomplish. An example of where it can be used, it's where in a healthcare center, the manager nominates a specific task that needs to be accomplished and assign them to an individual based on his or her expertise. Another one is staffing. Staffing refers to how a manager recruits employees based on what they studied and the action he or she is going to play in the company. In this staffing, the manager is required to hire employees, plan trainings based on the gap skills gap that they have in the company, and based on assignment that they have in the company. An example of where it can be used, for example, if in a healthcare center there is a problem of miscommunication between healthcare providers and patient. At this time, the manager have to plan how trainings for employees to get how they can communicate with their client well. Another one is leading. Leading refers to how the manager lead all those activities, keep track on how the process is going, how they are putting their efforts on in order to reach on the goal. He or she needs to do all activities, keeping those track based on the orientation they have as a company. An example of how where it can be used is when like there is a huge number of activities that the company have to accomplish, and the manager set like timeline on when those activities have to be accomplished. If he or she realizes that those activities cannot be accomplished, he or she sets approaches to reach on what they have to. The final one is controlling. This refers to when the manager controls how the staff members, how employees are working together in order to reach on that specific goal. He or she evaluates the performance of employees and see where employees have to put more effort, what they did bad, what they have to improve, and addresses concerns of employees and clients and correct some errors that have been realized in a certain company. This an example of where it can be used is when in a company there is a problem, and based on the responsibility of each worker, they evaluate each one and see how they can change the working style in order to make sure that the employees are working well toward their goal. Now I'm going to talk about the management style. Management style are there are many, but now I'm going to talk about discussing, delegating, and directing. And those are the ones that are used. And if a manager use one and ignore another one, it can harm the working style of the employees. They can feel overwhelmed, they can not enjoy what they are doing. Therefore, they have to use all of them, and in order to work effectively in their field. Let me start by directing. Directing is where the manager assigns a task to an employee and you tell him or her how, in which way he or she will accomplish that task, and by when that task have to be accomplished. It involves communication, coaching, decision making, and recognition, and others. But those four are the ones that I'm going to focus on. It involves communication when the employer or the manager is assigning tasks to employees, and when the employees are asking questions to understand what those instructions that the manager have provided. It involves coaching, because when the manager is discussing with the employers on how what they did bad, clarify their expectation to employees, and let them know what they need to correct. It involves decision making, because in the directing style, the manager define and evaluate problems that employees have, and other alternatives that can be possible. It also involves recognition when the employees worked well on the task, and and when he or she followed the instruction effectively. It has strengths and weakness. Strength is that employees learn from listening. They learn to follow instruction. They they get familiar with asking questions. They also get feedback toward the effectiveness. They also recognize what they did well and what they have to change. They learn to communicate effectively with their employers and managers, and it also leads to positive changes if they get all those feedback. It also has weaknesses, because if someone directs you no way to express your thoughts or your capability, and sometimes instructions may be delivered in a wrong way. They can also have the communication can also break. It is something which is possible. Also, employees may feel frustrated by more directions or instructions. I can tell you a scenario. For example, Nirangarama is a company which produces juice. This is an example of where directing style can be used effectively. If there is an instrument is that come in the company, which can help them to produce juice, at that time the employer the manager can provide the instructions to employees on how they can use that instrument or a machine. At that time, you understand that directing style is used effectively. also, uh, going to discussing style. Discussing style is the managing style which involves the discussion between the employees and the manager, where employees ask questions and manager answer them, where manager ask questions to help employees understand what they are supposed to do. It involves communication by asking questions and listening to employees' concerns. It involves coaching, where employees evaluate their own performance. In this discussing style, manager asks employees questions based on in order to help them evaluate what they did. What do you think you did? What is the what do, why do you think it was wrong? What do you think you can do differently? All those questions help employees to evaluate themselves rather than the manager evaluating them. Also, it involves manage decision making. Managers with employees analyze problem together and make decision. Also, it involves recognition, where employees who provided good ideas get like rewards to help them see that what they did is really helpful. It has strengths and weaknesses. Its strength is that employees express their reasoning. It improves their critical thinking since they are allowed to introduce their ideas in the company. It also help them to support their opinions in order to help the people be convinced. It let employees reflect on their performance and correct what is not good. It improve the collaboration between employees and workers. It also help if someone is recognized, it boosts his or her productiveness. Employees also participate in the development of the company, which help them also to work hard for themselves and even the company. But it also have weaknesses because employees during the discussion it consume more time. It also create debates if people are not understanding in themselves. Also, employees can participate in not equally participation because some of them can be shy, or not familiar of discussions. It also require employees preparation. You can't be in discussions while you are not participating. But there are some ways in which this can be used effectively. An example is I provided an example of Amamaza, which is a newspaper which advertise for small business. One of customer cannot pay. The finance director can react in a wrong way and make the clients to not come back. But in order to solve that problem, the manager have to have strong conversation with the finance director to know the weaknesses of the client, know how the client is working hard, and which effective approach can be used for the clients to come back in the company. Let me finish by delegating. Delegating style is when the manager assigns tasks to employees and let them decide in which ways they are going to accomplish their task. This involves communication, coaching, and decision making and recognition. Communication is when the manager is assigning tasks and let the employees ask questions in order to understand well their task. It involves coaching but this is self-coaching because employees are the one who evaluate themselves and see, did I accomplish this task effectively? What do I need to work more? what efforts do I need, and criticize themselves to work better. It also involves decision making because the employees, the owner of the task, is the one who set time in which the activity needs to be done, and implement plans for the accomplishment of the task. It also involves recognition. Employees who meet deadlines, who produce quality work, and who work well individually get recognition. This has strengths and weaknesses. Strength is that employees get empowered. If they are the ones who make decision of what they are doing, they get empowered. They evaluate themselves and learn from what they are doing. They also get the opportunity of asking questions in order to learn. It also encourages self-confidence. Weakness is that it leads to employees' anxiety. If it is my responsibility, if you tell me work, do this, and don't tell me how I can do it, if I don't know it, I will feel anxious. Unclear information from manager. The manager may provide unclear information. It also encourages overconfidence among employees. But this can be used effectively. An example is a school where they have like 50 students and 10 teachers. The manager of the school tell each teacher, you have to teach this lesson in this year, and at this time students will do the exam. The teacher is the one who decides the concept of the lesson, exam, what he or she needs to teach students, and he or she put more effort in the activity to make sure that students will pass the exam, because the exam is the one which will show that students have understood what he or she did, and it's one that proves his or her hard work. So I think that's all. In summary, I talked about 5 management functions, which are planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. And a manager who possesses all those work effectively at the workplace. I also talked about the managing style, which is directing, discussing, and delegating. And if they are used together, the work is really perfect. So thank you very much for your kind attention.